It has been a year of changes in 2016, Neil.
I'm afraid of changing.
I had a procedure done that I've talked at length about on this show,
Yeah.
and it forced
The brother
me
blast.
the Brother Blast,
Yeah.
Brother Blast 2016, right?
Yeah.
And Brother Saw 2016,
Nice.
and it led me down the path of manscaping, something that I had not done before.
I know. And something I was very happy to hear that you are doing now.
That's right. Well, have done once, really.
Just one? You haven't? Not yet?
I haven't done anything since.
You thinking you might?
I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Because you're a regular. You do it every
Once
weekend.
a week. Once a week.
No matter what.
Saturdays or Sundays.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Depends
I
what day I
could-
shower. I have a really gross weekend regimen. I don't shower both days.
Do you know I work from home, right?
Yeah. Oh, so I would
Okay.
imagine you go a few days sometimes.
I definitely don't shower 5 days during the work week.
Right.
I it's probably 3,
Yeah. That's fair.
you know?
That's good.
Anyway.
Another good reason to manscape because you don't want to trap that down there. Yeah, you don't need a funk sponge.
Well, you should be concerned because there's an article that came out on time.com that said that you may want to rethink grooming your pubic hair. So this is for men and women, not just a manscaping thing. Because grooming is linked to a higher risk of STIs, which is sexually transmitted infections. I
When
don't
did
understand the
STD
difference.
go away?
Yeah, why is the D gone?
Maybe because it's not truly a disease.
Maybe that's what it
because
is.
most of it can be cleared up. So but you can wait. You can get rid of some diseases, can't you? Maybe not.
Well, sure.
Yeah. I mean,
Diseases are
zombieism. Yeah.
All right. So listen to this. Most Americans have at one point or another removed hair from down there, but new research suggests that the grooming practice is linked to a major downside, and that is an increased risk of STIs, or sexually transmitted infections. In a new study published in the journal, you're not going to believe this,
Mm-hmm.
Sexually Transmitted Infections, which is probably why we're talking about STIs and not STDs. Maybe the URL was taken.
I kind of like that. Maybe. I kind of like that they have their own journal.
Yeah, right?
That's got to be like, hey, what are you studying? Oh, dude, you don't even want to know.
Or imagine pulling that one out on the airplane.
Yeah.
What are you reading over there?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing. Do you have a subscription to that thing? Yes.
Another study on dick warts. Here we go.
Anyway, so it says researchers surveyed thousands of Americans about their sexual history, grooming habits, and whether or not they'd ever had an STI. 66% of men and 84% of women said they've groomed before, which is a really high number.
For men.
Yes,
I mean,
women, yeah. But
Yeah.
men, 2 out of 3?
Yeah. That's a lot.
Well, and as it says...
Because my dad ain't freaking, taking care of business.
Well, and that's the thing. It says groomers tend to be younger, which I think is where maybe the numbers are skewing, because I would say...
We are not younger.
No, we're not younger.
No.
No. There's a different word there. So tend to be younger, more sexually active, and to have more sexual partners than non-groomers, which then makes me feel inadequate. Like, well, I thought it was a pretty good number.
Yeah. Well, considering that you're married, that number should just be.
It's just steady.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
That's it.
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, sexually active though, that can of course fluctuate. So they were also more likely to report having an STI in their life, including herpes, HPV, syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, or HIV. People who groom daily or weekly,
That's me.
were about 3.5 to 4 times more likely to report having an STI history. So,
now, do you think they have any metrics or took any notes on people that do it weekly but maybe don't shower very often? You think that helps or hurts?
I don't know that they asked that additional question. It might have made the data look a little different.
Yeah.
But as you're going to discover here in a second, all this sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
The results don't imply that shaving, waxing, or trimming will increase a person's chances of getting an STI. This kind of cross-sectional study is just a snapshot in time, making it impossible to determine cause and effect or even tell which came first, the grooming or the infection.
Yeah.
Now, when you're going to put that in your study and publish it in your sexually transmitted infections weekly,
Mm-hmm.
how do you how do you want people to take that? You're basically saying, so we did this study and we think we saw some trends, but it probably doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. I mean, when you're writing for the STI weekly or monthly or whatever, you've got to just throw stuff out there. You got to fill pages.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty soon it's going to become like Breitbart for dicks. It's just gonna make shit up, you know.
Breitbart for dicks.
You never know.
That's the next step. You go from STI to Breitbart for dicks.
That's it.
Oh my God. So it says, but the observational study raises some interesting questions about the link. It's possible that when grooming causes micro tears, bacterial and viral STIs are better able to penetrate the skin. Or maybe grooming is a sign that a person is more likely to have risky sex.
Well,
Researcher says if a clinician were to see evidence of grooming upon physical examination, perhaps the physician should inquire about safer sex practices or sexual history. That would be great. That would be great if my doctor said, I noticed you trimming now. Does that mean you're getting more trim?
You banging like crazy? You're getting after it.
I got some condoms for you because you need to watch yourself.
I want to know what these people are trimming with if they're tearing their freaking, uteruses open. I mean, what are they using, a rough freaking machete?
They're just micro tears, Neil. They're not big. They're just minor little micro tears.
They start as a micro tear, and then the next thing you know,
the syphilis just pours in through that.
That's how people get butt cancer, micro tears.
Oh, God. So anyway, I don't know that we can learn a lot from that study other than, I guess, it really what the study is actually telling you in the end is if you have a lot of risky sex, you have a better chance of getting an STI, something we already knew at the beginning.
Yeah. And if you trim, you're going to look better doing it. So It's all about image. If you're going to have one of these STIs anyway, you might as well look good.
That's
Get your butt in the gym, get yourself a nice sharp razor, and let's get after it.
Get in front of that mirror and block people off while you only do maybe one set of 10 curls.
Those freaking guys. Don't get me started with those sons of bitches. My God. Dude, move back 2 feet. What are you doing? What the hell are you doing?
Plenty of space there.
There was a guy Sunday. Was it Sunday? Yeah, that was working out in front of the weights like that. And big dude who really works out came and just pretty much moved him. Just
nice.
Walked, they just got in his way. The guy couldn't, he's like, oh, and then he stepped back, 4 or 5 feet. But I was like, oh.
That's what you need. You need an enforcer.
I'm going to just bring the Rock with me.
There you go.
Can you move that guy?
I'm going to need you to step back.
It's the ultimate in passive aggressive. I brought a big dude with me. I'm not going to talk to you.
This is like that movie, My Bodyguard.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Exactly.
Like the gym. My gym bodyguard.
No motorcycles.
No.
I'm not looking for any carburetors.
No.
How do I remember shit like that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because that's that movie is probably 35 years old.
Yeah. Well, my long-term memory apparently is all right.
No, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's back when things were still sinking in.
When I didn't start using my head as a freaking bonk. I didn't become bonk. You remember the bonk video game? As a baby with a giant head? That was me.
Yeah. I'm going to make a t-shirt of that.
Mm-hmm.